all of our heels this week. Like, it's gonna suck because Dylan's the go-between, meaning it's gonna be me talking about something dark, Blake talking about something dark, and then Dylan being like, I don't like the Nightmare Sisters. Fuck you.
I can talk to you about why they're terrible people.
No.
In kayfabe.
Okay.
That's part of why they're heels, is that I can't explain to you why I don't like them so much, but like something about how it's going, like the story itself has made me so jaded, and the fact that like Brandy is the wife of one of the VPs, and now they're in the finals for this like women's tag tournament, even though of the tag teams, like they're not I guess they are technically a favorite. I don't know, but like they became heels.
Oh wait, they are?
Yeah.
What the fuck? We'll get into that. Welcome to Fight Boys, the show about professional and not so professional wrestling. I'm your host, the man that leaked fake spoilers for Dynamite, Scottye Moore.
I'm the king of steaks, Blake Tanner.
I'm not going to be in the crowd at that AEW show.
Oh, I thought you meant that you weren't going to be in the fucking Mad Max Thunderdome because they released video of that today.
It was so fucking great.
It genuinely would look better if they put green screen all around that fucking arena and put in the WWE 2K19 crowd. Like, if you'd put in those fucking Tony Hawk NPCs, it would be so much better than what they're doing instead.
Why didn't they just have the hard cam in the same place, like looking at the entrance ramp?
Yeah, and then you could like cut to people, because I think someone did that before, where they cut to live reactions of people at home. That's cool. That I don't mind that at all. But just these bright, someone said, and this is the nerdiest reference, I'm gonna call it nerdiest reference on this show, and they go, you remember at the end of the Digimon movie when all of the kids sent in emails to stop the evil virus? I said, that's what the Thunderdome looked like. And I said, oh my god, you're right, they're all gonna pop in during fucking Retribution's attack at the end of the show and prevent them from doing it.
Wait, is that really how the Digimon movie ended? Like a bunch of kids DDoSed the bad guy?
Yeah. It was a DDoS attack from 13-year-olds, and that's how Digimon ended.
This was, you need to understand, in the early 2000s when that was plausible.
We do need to give the king is dead, long live the king, to Renee Young, because oh man, I'm so fucking excited for wherever she goes and wherever they let her be Renee Young. Because like Paul Heyman put it the best, Renee can make anybody look like $1 million. It doesn't matter who you put with Renee. Renee can make them a fucking star in an instant.
And if you haven't inferred already, of course, or heard it, Renee Young is leaving the WWE. She's moving on to some greener pastures. And recently she did post a promotional photo of her new cookbook that does feature her sitting on a counter, and Moxley is drinking a beer in the background. And she looks like extremely well put together and like a professional photo posing, and Mox looks like Mox.
Did you see the fucking tweet where she goes, I asked John to get me a beer, and he fucking responded that I had to pay him $3 like he's a shitty DoorDash employee?
Yeah. It's the gig economy, man. It's saving us.
So, on the one hand, I'm looking forward to what she's doing, because it's kind of like a Brandy Road situation where I was just like, oh, good, you go out there, you do things. Like, it must be very difficult for you to be there after, as one, a female employee, and then two, when your husband is out doing good, like, great work for other companies.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, I'm just like, man, I'm sure you had some good things planned and it just didn't work out. Also, Paul Heyman saying that he owes someone is like
Right.
the biggest backhanded compliment ever. Because Paul Heyman owes thousands of people. Most of them worked in ECW.
Well, that's the thing
So,
about
like, Paul Heyman saying he owes you is just adding, like, another name to an endless list. Like, congratulations. Like, who cares?
Where would
It's like being a person in the Thunderdome on the side that they don't see on hard cam. Like, nobody notices anymore.
where would you guys put Renee? Because like I was like, well, maybe she can go to AEW do commentary, but it's not that she's bad.
No, she shouldn't do commentary. Do you not remember her commentary?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, it's not that she was bad at it. It was just a matter of like, she's such a nice person that she can't be like, what a vicious move. She's like, I think they seem nice.
she's a host first and foremost, like, of a show. That is what she should be doing. I mean, honestly, if she doesn't stay in wrestling, a lot of big, like, sports networks would take her in a second. Like, maybe even ESPN.
I would be very, I don't know what you would call it. You could do some kind of pun with Ignition, like the aftermath, like after the bomb goes off, the aftermath, and have basically Talking Smack, but with Renee Young interviewing different AEW guys. And I wouldn't hide the fact that she's with John. They could straight up use that for storylines. I would never put her with John. I would say they're two employees of the same company.
I really want her to not be in AEW, just so I don't have to deal with them trying to be like, well, how do we address like the wife of the wrestler, like having to deal with the act and like nah, fam.
It's fine when
just let her go be on ESPN
Yeah.
or let her go like have her own show on like in Vegas or I don't care.
What?
Just please, just let her get out of the
her fucking weekly place in Vegas. She comes out.
Now, hold on. Let me throw this one out.
No, like that she hosts in Vegas or her own show. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna try to put a glass ceiling on what Renee Young can do. How dare you? How dare you, you sexist motherfuckers?
Guys, grocery games.
Oh my God, Renee's Grocery Games. Yes, absolutely. But like, I think if John stays babyface, it's fine. But like, that was one of my biggest problems with the Ambrose heel run was the fact that she had to be on commentary constantly, just like, I don't know, he's going a little crazy. Who knows what's going on? But until that day, which I don't know if that won't happen for years, I think she would do really well anywhere, honestly. On to my favorite YouTube video I've seen this week, and it is very intriguing that they did this, but it is Keith Lee and Drew McIntyre sparring to prepare for SummerSlam / TakeOver porno, respectively. And it's such a cool video because you see Keith and he's still selling the fireball, he's still like selling the eye stuff, and they're going back and forth. You're basically getting to see what a match could be there. And in addition, they're sitting there like, when we ever meet? Oh yeah, it was that Evolve show, right? And of course, they're just trying to be like, Evolve, you know, the show that's now on the WWE network that you can watch every weekend whenever you want. But it was such a good, genuine moment to see like these two big champions who came from small beginnings be able to just chat and talk about the fact that, wow, we have gold now.
Mm-hmm. I always like genuinely candid moments in wrestling, even though WWE still finds a way to produce them more than I'd like. But that was a fun video to watch, and it was a good tease of if they ever get a chance to meet, which I kind of hope they do. I would love to see that fucking match.
I mean, the amount of matches Lee can do is limitless. I didn't want to say it, but I did. I don't know if there's a person on the roster I wouldn't want to see Keith Lee fight.
Baron Corbin.
Yeah, well, there he goes. There it is. That's it.
You just had to ruin it. You just had to ruin it that quickly.
How much do you really want that? How much do you really want the Riddick Moss versus Keith Lee match?
Also, I will say I still hate the storyline, and I hate that Adam Cole's fighting Pat McAfee, but I will say this is the best Adam Cole has ever looked in like the past year, because babyface Adam Cole, I forgot how much of a badass he can be, because Pat McAfee came out did Pat shit, and apparently what everybody says was it was a good heel promo, and that's because he's an asshole. And then guards got in the ring to try to stop Cole from coming after him. And Cole just fucking like Jackie Chan beat the shit out of all of them. Like big boots, super kicks, whatever. And then in one simple sentence made me believe in Adam Cole. And it's just looking McAfee in the eye and going, I'm going to make you my bitch. And Pat McAfee realized he fucked up in that moment. That was the moment, because it was so good, because he cut this epic heel promo of like grandiose bullshit, and then Adam Cole super kicked a guard in the face, and they cut back, and Pat is staring in horror at what he has wrought this weekend.
Good. I'd love a genuine fearful reaction from a heel as they realize that shit's about to go down.
Yeah, exactly. And the only way I see Adam not coming out on top is I think they teased something with Kyle not being happy so maybe Kyle turns on him. But outside of that, I don't think there's a way you can have Adam Cole lose, even though he'll probably lose, and it'll make me very sad.
At the 30th edition of TakeOver, we're going to have Pat McAfee win our match against our star of the brand. Yeah.
And we're saving predictions for the end of the show. That way we can keep everybody around. So we all know what we think about this one, though. In addition, Sean doesn't know how to sell a punt, so good for you, HBK. Who was it? Somebody said...
What happened?
To be fair, so here's what happened. It was... he cut this promo about how, like, you'll see it coming when somebody comes for you, and then Randy Orton out of nowhere's him, which is kind of ironic. So he RKO's him, and then he immediately goes for the punt. The way I kayfabe it is, he didn't have the full wind-up of the normal punt when he's all the way in a corner and gets a full ring start. He only had, like, 2 steps and kick to the head.
Okay, so that's what it was, because Sean...
Also of all the people... HBK is the greatest, like, wrestler that is not an ancient man, Ric Flair.
Yeah.
So clearly he can get out of it the best. He fought the Undertaker twice. Like, one punt's not going to keep him down. Come on.
I think it might have been Leo Rush who said 2008 Shawn Michaels would have sold that kick for the next 3 months. He would have never been seen again.
That would have retired him for real.
He would have somehow flown over the ropes, Hulk Hogan match style, into the crowd, gotten up, done a ballerina twist, and then somersaulted forward.
Oh, but Blake, full story is after he got punted, he ended up back on his feet before the end of the segment. And so people were like, come on, man. It's right before SummerSlam. You can't do that.
Don't give me that half punch shit.
Yeah, so that happened, and then I guess it's because it's not been fully confirmed yet, and that's why it's none of our heels, but Shane McMahon might be writing for Raw soon, and if that happens, we're not covering wrestling anymore. Not any wrestling. I will be done.
To be fair, so he's like the head writer, or he's in charge of Raw, and like Vince is giving over control?
No, head writer for Raw. So like Vince will still be there fucking things up.
I read executive director. Is that not like...
Oh, is it that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because from what I read, it was because Pritchard is over both now, right? Raw and SmackDown. From what I read, Pritchard is like, these are long fucking nights because I have to write 5 hours of television weekly. So he's trying to find someone to take over Raw. If only they had had a certain advocate for the longest reigning defending WWE champion of all time who could have had that spot. But instead, they're looking at giving it to Shane.
Do you want to sincerely tell me that you don't believe that Paul Heyman will be in Shane McMahon's ear?
Oh, no. He definitely will, but Paul Heyman's in everyone's ear. It doesn't matter.
So I'm actually more happy that it's Shane, because unlike Paul, who Vince will unceremoniously kick off of the top of Titan Towers, Shane can act as a shield while Paul tries to convince everybody to implement his weird ideas.
Let's be honest, Shane would throw himself off the top of Titan Towers.
Yeah.
Only if Undertaker was at the bottom and could move at the last moment.
Now on to AEW. There's not much indie or Impact news, which was weird given the fact that one half of Impact's pay-per-view was this week. Chris Bay is no longer X Division champion, which is fucking weird to me that they decided to do that. That's the only really thing I saw coming out of anything. Oh, and allegedly EC3's coming to Ring of Honor. So I guess Impact has got a working agreement with ROH now.
Okay, that might be interesting. Because at this point, yeah, these Impact is okay, but Ring of Honor is just the odd man out nowadays.
Oh, and speaking of that, unfortunately, we are back to the Delirious era. That whole villain era lasted a long fucking time, didn't it? Because Delirious is back in power, and Marty is out for the foreseeable future.
That's what he get.
Note to self, never watch Ring of Honor again. Underline again several times.
Good night, sweet prince. Your days are now behind you.
Yeah. And speaking of creeps, Jimmy Havoc's gone from AEW in addition to B. Priestley and Sadie Gibbs, which is a weird trio because it's just like, oh yeah,
I know why Jimmy's gone. Jimmy's been gone for a while, actually, on there.
He just got officially released because they said he's gonna go through like rehab basically, and we're going to reevaluate his status after that. And then finally COVID caught up to them and they realized we have to release people, and they realized Jimmy would probably be the best. And then B, who I think B had gotten into, because isn't B Ospreay's girlfriend?
Yep.
Okay. Apparently they also were involved in Me Too bullshit, and so that
that was the Pollyanna thing where like they blacklisted, and it was a whole fucking thing.
Yeah, so that was rough.
What did Sadie Gibbs do?
I know, that's the worst part. Can you imagine being Sadie Gibbs right now, where AEW's like, we're gonna release these problematic wrestlers, B. Priestley and Jimmy Havoc. Oh, and also Sadie Gibbs. So now I was like, what the fuck did she do?
What did she do? Because I don't remember seeing her on AEW TV that much.
She wasn't. But she'd been there like since the beginning, from what I've heard. They just never really utilized her in any way.
Weird. Yeah. Yeah.
Someone would, as some would say,
Can they bring Jamie Hayter back though, even though they don't have B. Priestley? Because she's really good.
Yeah, I think they're gonna get more to bringing in indie talents now at this point, because that's a way to get more interested in the product without having to sign them, i.e. a Warhorse. And then I know they signed Kingston, but Eddie Kingston, like, I think that's what they're gonna move to, at least until they can start drawing in a lot more money, which I think they are, because they have got the crowds coming back allegedly.
Yeah. Hashtag give us the Pineapple Pete.
Yes.
By the way, speaking of indie talent, Lee Johnson's back on television.
There we go. There.
Lee Johnson wrestled this week. Listen, man. The only reason I'm so excited for that is, one, he's 0-14 in singles matches.
I just can't wait for Dylan's Wrestling History X on Lee Johnson, where he makes up this long fucking narrative about Lee Johnson, like the man trained for years, and then he arrived.
No, he's only been wrestling for 2 years. That's why I'm like hyped to him, because he's really goddamn good. He had a really good match with Ricky Starks this week, and like during the match, you thought maybe fucking like Lee Johnson will win. Like, he's been impressive the whole time, but he had like a full, like, took Ricky Starks to it. Like, you can tell they're high up on him, or people like working with the dude. And like, mostly it was because he was the losingest person during the COVID era. And like, now at this point, I'm just like, actually, he is really good. This is no longer a rib. He's a good wrestler. He's involved in the MJF storyline after he lost this week. Fucking Wardlow in pants that were literally sagging down off his ass came out and like gave Lee Johnson like the MGF pin to put on his tights.
Oh, okay, cool.
And like, so he's fully involved in that storyline. So I was like, hey, yeah, that's
and
good.
as we've seen many times in wrestling, if someone loses a lot, that can really endear them to you, especially if they're good.
Yeah. Daniel Bryan. Clap, 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 clap. In addition to that, Ricky Starks is just... I'm finally on that fucking train with you. I'm on 2 trains that Dylan's been trying to get people on, and one's, of course, Cameron Grimes, and then, of course, the fucking Ricky Starks train I'm already on.
He has the best theme song.
Oh, yeah, without
it's
a doubt.
It's so good. It slaps so fucking hard. Every time he shows up on Dark, I'm just like, I don't even care what the match is about. I gotta hear his music. Yes.
Yeah. What was the promo he cut? He cut it on Darby, right?
He cut it. Oh, what did he say? Basically talking about how he's too pretty for hardcore.
Oh yeah, it was so good.
He's too good for it. Darby Allin looks like he was raised on dog food and meth.
Yeah,
that was a good line.
That
basically talking about how Darby's a punk for using the fucking skateboard of thumbtacks on him, and now he's gonna get his career ended by Ricky Starks.
You look like you were raised
because it's Ricky Starks.
You look like you were raised on dog food and meth is something that if you had told me that it was an insult that Dylan had made towards someone, I would have believed it.
Yeah, he's there, Dylan.
Well, I thought about stealing it.
In addition to that, we had been wondering, why isn't Matt Cardona on AEW anymore? Oh, it's because he only signed for 5 fucking dates. That's it.
Well, he only used 2 of them.
Yeah, well, they've only used 2, but I'm like, because Cardona was like, what's next for me after this? I mean, I liked working with AEW, but who knows? And I'm like, what the fuck? You didn't sign him? You just brought him in for a couple there?
You just wanted...
For one match? That's so fucking weird to bring him into that storyline for one, especially now that the Dark Order shit's going on now. I swear to God, if Matt Cardona is the reason why Cody retained, I'm going to be upset.
Because they leaked those spoilers, and I'm fairly sure the end of the Deadly Draw basically confirmed that the spoilers were bullshit. Because they definitely didn't say the end of the Deadly Draw was going to be Nightmare Sisters versus Ivelisse and Diamante. And so that's when I went...
They said the opposite. They said it was Swole Family versus Terra J.
Yeah, I also believe that several sources, including Meltzer, come out saying that those spoilers were fake.
Yeah. Which sucks, because, like, some of it sounded good. Like, I wouldn't mind Eric Rowan in the Dark Order. That'd be fun. But, like, outside of that...
But I think what they said was, even like, the Reddit mods came out and made a post and said, y'all, we haven't gotten a confirmation on this person, but we're pretty sure it's fake. Because I think that, especially with Rowan, like, the spoilers detailed a promo that he would cut, or how he would look. Like, he'd either have long hair or he'd be completely bald, and then, like, the next day or the day before, he was in an interview where he was not the right hair.
It was just some NXT reject sending that shit out, to quote Chris Jericho. Jericho's fucking unloading on his Saturday night specials. He really is. I
will say, favorite Jericho moment of the week, when Johnny Gargano came up with his... newest slogan being the Wednesday night, KNIGHT, and he was complimented by Jericho by saying, I wish I'd have thought of that one first.
Yeah, it's very good, and it plays into Johnny's gimmick of being a comic book nerd. But yeah, Johnny's been great. Johnny did almost die on NXT. So
yeah, saw that.
Good.
Almost broke his neck in 2.
Yeah.
Almost had a Hideo Itami situation where some giant muscle fucker almost breaks your neck.
And then the main event of the show.
Now, hold on. Johnny, no, you're not a Bushi. You can't take those kind of neck bumps.
Yeah. But the main event of that show was the most, I think probably gets the record for the most overbooked thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Because I tuned in and I saw...
Whoa. Do you not remember Cody's initial match for the TNT title?
Oh, man. That one was rough. But, man, this one, I tuned in. Cameron Grimes is just on a fucking ladder talking shit to Dream and Finn between it all. And then at one point, Finn starts climbing up the ladder to go after Cameron, but then Dream grabs him, throws him in the ring. Then fucking Gargano comes out for some reason. And then basically, you know, like how before every Rumble, they have the pre-Rumble where everybody comes out and throws people out of the ring. It was that, but with a 5-man match. So only like 5 dudes kept coming out to the ring and attacking people.
And instead of trying to throw other people out of the ring, they were all trying to climb the ladder, and there was just nothing there.
Yeah, exactly.
I do want to see Bronson try to climb a ladder, because, like, that is going to be... He is a big boy.
Thick boy. Thick boy.
Thick boy.
But you know where there's some thick boys that... No, that makes it sound like we have an OnlyFans. I can't do that one.
You don't?
Yeah, Dylan and I do.
Patreon.com/AloadofBS, the website where you can support us and get access to exclusive content like Wrestling History X, the show where we take deep dives into some of our favorite pro wrestling moments. I'm about to release an episode in the next couple of weeks about when John Cena became a babyface for me. In other words, his United States title run. And you can find that and all the other episodes at patreon.com/AloadofBS. Dylan, who are we annoying?
We should annoy Matt Cardona and be like, yo, bro, I heard you couldn't get signed to AEW. What's up with that?
If anybody on this call knows not to fuck with Matt Cardona on social media, it's me, the man who told him that he liked the Edison more than La Cava de Tequila and was politely told, fuck off.
I'll be right back.
I don't feel like that was done politely.
Yeah. All right.
That sounds like it was rather rude.
Yeah. I don't want to get blocked by Matt Cardona. Yo.
Why not?
Why is it recommending me Jimmy Havoc and Joey Ryan? What the fuck? Our account's terrible. Why? No. Yo.
Actually, we could tweet it. We could tweet at Kylie Ray. Would you like to tweet at Kylie Ray instead?
Yeah, let's hold on.
Tell her we're looking forward to MD Kylie taking over the deathmatch scene.
Oh yeah, that's good. It was one of those moments I had of just like, we should tweet Kylie Ray. What should we tweet Kylie Ray? Finish your thought and then I'll start typing. I'll be honest, MDK might be my favorite thing Kylie's ever done, without a doubt. It's so good. And then I'm just going to add a nice gif of her smiling. Well, while I do this, let's get into our heels of the week. Blake, would you like to begin?
Yeah, I think mine's going to be one of the rougher ones. Well, no, Scotty's is pretty rough, too. I forgot about that one.
Pretty rough there, buddy.
Oops. Okay, so my heel of the week is this utter piece of human garbage that probably was raised on dog food and meth, who attempted to break into and kidnap Sonya Deville, attempted to try to break into her home and kidnap her. That's fucking...
Step one. Man is already stupid.
Man is already stupid. Okay, so this is the timeline of fucking events that led to this man running away for his life. The dude parked his car at midnight right off of the road that Sonya's house was, and he proceeded to sneak up to her back patio, cut a hole in the patio screen, and waited on it for 3 to 4 hours while watching and listening through her windows while she and Mandy were there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. At 2:43 a.m.
in the morning.
Yeah.
God.
He tried to open the sliding glass door of like her back porch on the patio, and it activated her the alarm of the house. So that fucking promptly led to him running away, Sonya and Mandy jumping into a car, and then getting out of there while the police arrived. The dude was taken into custody, but when they found his car, when they found him, he was carrying a knife, zip ties, duct tape, mace, and other items, and he told deputies that he was planning to take the homeowner hostage. what fucking drives people?
I do want to give him a little credit for coming out that blatantly and being like, what were you doing with all of this? And he could have easily been Dennis from It's Always Sunny. They're toys. They're my toys. But he blatantly came out with it. Yeah, I was planning to kidnap him. So I will give him 1 earnest point for that of the 0 that he had.
Yes. And you can just, well, he was already in the negative because he's just this is terrible, man. Like, this is fucking stalking and attempted kidnapping. Absolutely just the worst kind of human trash that I could ever expect. And the fact that it affected a wrestler that I like, and that, you know, how the fuck are these public personalities supposed to feel safe in their homes when the fucking knife-wielding mace heads come in?
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to, like, last week when we were talking about the Jacksons leaving Twitter. It was like, they found where we fucking live. Like, which, to be fair, there was on a lot of episodes of BTE, but still, like, come on.
True. It harkens back to, what was the stalking situation that went on down at the Performance Center a couple years ago?
Oh, that weird guy who just showed up outside of it with, like, a gun and tried to break in? Yeah.
Because he was stalking, one of the women wrestlers.
I can't remember the full story of that one, but yeah,
it's the same kind of thing, like, and apparently, like, him smearing his shit on things was involved, so fuck that.
Wait, hold on. Wait, what? I was busy preparing for my heel of the week. Could you repeat the words you just said?
I believe that this person was, like, smearing feces on things. That may be another story that I'm thinking about, and I'm putting the two together, but it just...
After a while, all the crazy stalker people just blend into one super stalker. To be
honest, that happens more often than you might think with stalker stories.
Well,
So this is shitty. Fuck all of this. Thank goodness she had an alarm.
Well, let's lighten things up with my heel of the week. Oh, no. No, last week, I remember I was like, Velveteen Dream's back, yay. Because all I had known at that point, because, like, during the big...
No, your yay was not enthusiastic.
Yeah, no. Because, like, I still have that... But in my mind, there was only the one time. Because during hashtag speaking out, there was so much shit that I didn't realize more stuff came out on him during that. And it's come out even more in the past week. And my heel isn't so much him, it's WWE. Because old Trips got on a call, and let me see if I can find his exact phrasing. Because he was like, the only reason he was out was because he got into a car accident.
Yeah, and there was somebody grilling him about it, and Triple H just dropped the subject completely.
Yeah, he basically said, we take it seriously, all these allegations, we looked into it, didn't find anything, which, by the way, one of the accusers, who actually is a up-and-coming indie wrestler who will be having my support in the future, even though I've already forgotten his name, he came out and was like, I know I wasn't contacted, and I've talked to numerous other people that have came out with accusations, and they weren't contacted. So what investigation did you do? Because it seems like they didn't do not shit for this. And then to put him in this big high-profile match, I don't even give a fuck if he wins. To put him in that match is just the worst. It is horrible to me. Like, yeah, I get it. You want to do Thatcher versus Balor. That'll be a great match. You know when you could have had Thatcher attack Balor? During the ladder match. Then Balor doesn't win, which you definitely didn't want to happen anyways.
Even though it would have put some shine on that title.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just their reaction is completely tone deaf and just... I don't even know how to describe it. Like, they're not even it feels like they didn't even approach the situation, period, even though they said they did an investigation where they didn't contact anyone.
That's okay. Deadspin slapped him upside the face.
God.
So
that is such a... Dylan, do you have the headline? Because
Yes,
I don't have it in front of me. Okay.
WWE allows alleged child sex predator to waltz back into the ring like nothing happened.
Bap! So good. So pristine. Let's see. This is from @NXT_fan. In other words, someone who loves NXT so much, they made it their Twitter handle. I'm going to put this out here again. Here's a video I took of the conversation I had with Patrick Clark on April 24th. I've seen what Triple H has said, and I've had no communication with them. I've went to police, and even they have not followed up with me. Let's see. And then some more screenshots, and then, of course, hashtag. Here's how you know how bad it was. Hashtag Fire Velveteen Dream was trending more than hashtag WWE NXT. More people were talking about this shit than worried about tonight's NXT episode, meaning that it's fucking a big deal.
Which is very interesting because, of course, as we know, like Wednesday on NXT, it did really well in the ratings because there wasn't an episode of Dynamite.
Also, someone did edit his fucking Wikipedia page to say Patrick Clark Jr. is an American pro wrestler currently signed to WWE, where he performs on the NXT brand under the name R. Kelly Jr. And then my final little bit of the great hashtag Fire Velveteen Dream ones is one where it was a picture of Tyler Breeze greater than Patrick Clark. And I'm like, yeah, there you go.
By the way, if the R. Kelly bit is true, does that mean instead of Purple Rain, it's his elbow drop is now the Golden Shower?
Yeah, it's Golden Rain. Golden Rainmaker. Oh, fuck.
God.
Man, fuck that. Fuck him. Fuck WWE for not looking into it. Fuck them for putting him in a title match. It's just so gross to do with this.
Like, even if it turns out that these accusations are false, the way they handled it just makes them look terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially because they fired so many UK guys.
Oh, yeah.
Over allegations that seemingly had less evidence.
Yeah, it feels like, I mean, it is just, they're protecting him, aren't they?
Oh, 100%. Like, and
they've sunk so much time and money and effort.
Yeah, and like I said, one of the guys is an up-and-coming indie wrestler, and everybody's like, oh, he's lying, and everyone on Twitter at once is like, this is his business. He knows how much it would destroy him to come out with this. Why the fuck would he lie about this at all? Why would this be? It's the same thing with fucking Jamie Senegal and Matt Riddle. Why the fuck would they lie about that? That will hurt them more than anything else. It is to protect other people before letting these people grow and become bigger if they're a fucking pedophile. Like, that's exactly what it is. So, Dylan, can you lighten things up with your heel of the week, please?
Feels so shitty about this now.
What, putting yours on par with a pedophile and a psychopathic stalker? Like,
yeah, mine's just a complaint about like nepotism and like poor character work in AEW, like supposed nepotism. I'm sorry. So the Deadliest Draw is happening, which, by the way, this last episode, worst one, horrible. It was 30 minutes. Both of the matches were like 8 minutes long. Fucking, and the final is Ivelisse and Diamante, which fine, perfectly good. They actually did they had some good.
Who were they against in the semis?
Tara J.
So
Garcate
you're saying because of your heel of the week, we lost out on those two versus Big and Lil Swole. I'm now even more mad.
Right. So Swole family lost because of Britt Baker interference, which whatever, storyline progression. That's fine. Brandy and Allie are heels now.
Yeah, you told us this before the show, and what?
Here, let me explain this. So, fucking Brandy Rhodes has this terrible habit in AEW with her booking, where once she has any amount of like success or power, she becomes like, self-aggrandizing. She came down to the ring for the match and then had the announcer re-announce her as
the best in the world.
No, as the only woman in AEW with her own action figure.
Oh, okay. So yeah, definitely.
And then she handed it to her. By the way, at one point, Lil Swole did I think it was a Tope Suicida, and took out fucking QT. And Brandy ran over like, oh no, came out. Okay, the action figure is okay, and ran back.
That's funny. That's not bad. But like,
is it though? I
mean, if that's her obsession as a character, it's a funny bit. For it to be then we're in the finals, now I've got a few problems with it.
Yeah. But like, that's not babyface anything like that. You don't re-announce that. No, that's heelish shit. Plus, Allie's already there.
I kind of want to go back to heel Brandy babyface Allie, because Allie's a fucking phenomenal babyface, without a doubt. Like, if seeing her in TNA taught me anything.
No, I want Demon Bunny. Allie. That shit slapped.
I wouldn't mind if it was like her fucking Finn Balor transformation, like for big matches.
Yeah, that shit was great.
She had a lot of great character work in Impact back in the day.
Oh, by the way, I do really love what they're I'm telling you, we're getting closer and closer to Matt Hardy fighting Matthew Hardy. Every week we're getting closer. Like, he beat I will say, this was the most satisfying moment for me. Actually, it was last week when Matt Hardy beat the shit out of that fucking referee, because he's also known as P-Dog in the Atlanta scene, and I hate him. And it made me real happy to see P-Dog get the shit kicked out of him.
But anyway, that's my complaint, is that, one, they're not acting like babyface, and it's all with this. It's this weird like Allie is clearly just working her way into the Nightmare family for some reason, and Brandy is okay with it now because they're winning, and it seems like Allie's a good tag team partner. But now, like, the success is getting to her like overall. And it's more the fact that they made it to the finals, and there is like a 75% chance they're going to win this title because it's the wife of a VP and someone that's signed to the brand versus two women that are not signed to AEW.
Oh, that's right, they're not. I forgot about that. Is it a title?
Yeah, and who are supposedly the heel. Granted, like, the tournament was supposedly babyface versus babyface, like heel versus heel. So like, that was a little odd. But no. Unless fucking Eddie Kingston comes out and like takes out QT Marshall and Dustin, like, I don't see the Puerto Rican connection.
That'd be a weird place. That'd be a weird place to bring in Eddie, though. I would bring in Eddie and break up Inner Circle a little bit to where you could eventually build to Eddie.
I was joking. Don't fantasy book on me.
Guys.
Please.
No. My fantasy booking's coming later. Don't you worry. I've got some prepared.
Now listen, I think the thing that you guys aren't realizing is that Cody can't challenge for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship anymore, so it balances out. There's no nepotism. What are you talking about?
Well,
wait, he's what?
Dylan, was there anything good? Perhaps something that was a babyface on the Deadly Draw?
On the Deadly Draw. It wasn't so much a Deadly Draw. They let Veda Scott on Dark.
Oh, fuck, really?
Yeah. And she played off of Taz and Tony Schiavone really well. I think it was the cat. One of the people was like, and she was talking with Tony Schiavone. She's like, you know who coached him at his high school? Good friend of yours, fucking Mongo, like McMichael from that. And then Taz was just like, I've gone to a bar fight with him at like this one dude's bar. So it was this weird like thing where like Veda Scott outscoops Tony Schiavone, and then like Taz has this story that kind of like tops that. And she was really good. She kept like kayfabe frustrating Taz because Veda Scott was a lawyer.
Oh yeah.
And so he's just like, quit using words against me. She plays off of it so well, and it was so good to see. And like she plays well off of Tony, but like having Taz there, having that like one like real play-by-play person, because she's great at like putting over heels, babyfaces. She put over Ricky Starks huge, talking about how she'd seen him like build himself up on the scene for years. Like it really got across, gets across the different skills of it because she's like an actual industry person.
Yeah. Like I remember a couple of months ago seeing a video on her Twitter account where it was full on like, I haven't been around much, I've been going through a lot, but I am Veda Scott and I am a wrestler. Please bring me in for shit. And I'm really happy that she's got this massive platform. I mean, obviously she's not wrestling yet, but like who knows? Eventually they may.
Dude, she's a great manager.
Oh yeah.
I remember when she used to manage Cedric and they had that feud with Moose. That shit was great.
Yeah. Fucking Veda is a killer. I love Veda. Blake.
Plus, that might mean that once the travel ban is up, we might get Mike Bailey, and I really want Speedball.
Yeah. God, I can't wait for Mike. I didn't realize they were together until I started following it on Twitter, and I went, oh, okay. Oh, shit.
They've been together for like so long. They're so fucking adorable.
Yeah. Well, my baby face of the week is, it's honestly kind of like a past baby face, but man, it's wrestling with a crowd, wrestling with a live crowd, because this Wednesday, they aired the first half of All Out on the I think it was just the AEW YouTube channel, and it made everything feel 10 times more important. Like, I guess it's because I'm used to it, because we've went through 6 months of wrestling without a crowd, that it's made me forget just how much a crowd adds to all of it. And like just watching all those matches and rewatching like Havoc versus Janela versus Darby, which was match of the night for me, and hearing the crowd pop along to all the spots, hearing the crowd go crazy when fucking Jimmy monkey flips Joey and then Joey lands sitting straight up on the chair.
God, I'm so glad we got to watch that live.
Like, that's the big reason, like, anytime me and my dad go to wrestling shows, he's like, I don't care about the wrestling. I care about being there and being in this massive over 100,000 people and getting to enjoy all these people coming together and cheering and kind of becoming like a hive mind. I'm like, yeah, it's fucking awesome. Wrestling's great. And I just want to...
Except some of those people suck.
Yeah, but I can't wait for...
They always sit near me.
I just can't wait for...
I call them my friends.
Yeah, I can't wait for live wrestling to come back. Like, first moment I feel safe. Like, I've had moments where I'm like, I don't even feel that safe, but New South's running a show soon and fucking Pineapple Pete's gonna be on it. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I understand the feeling, because like at this point, I'm very wary about like what AEW's doing, even having like limited crowds.
Somebody had to be the first one to try it for that, and everybody's just like, this is such a poor idea. I was like, listen, you have no idea what their protocols are, because they had a little bit of it before and then they canceled it immediately because people weren't doing it. I was like, they've probably been working for weeks to do that. They didn't just like on Tuesday say like, we're gonna let people come in on this day.
No, I would hope they'd be like, being following precautions, like their track record suggests that they're very good about that, because AEW locks it down.
I think like it was either last week or the week before that they had fans. Like it invited fans. Like I think Jessie Davin, who's on Twitter, like a big name on Twitter, she was there and she was like, we felt extremely fucking safe. Like the protocol and making sure everyone stayed 6 feet away. Like me, my husband, we all felt very safe going in there because of all the protocols they had put into place. And I mean, do what you got to do to add to it at this point. Like do whatever you can to kind of outwork the other person, I guess, at this point.
Mm-hmm. Because fucking WWE's over here finding ways to perfect people from thousands of miles away to be able to project what chants into the stadium.
Yeah. But yeah, also secondary babyface. Man, fucking All Out was so good. All Out was such a good pay-per-view.
Once again, I'm glad we watched that one.
Dylan, did you watch it live or did you get to enjoy it for the first time?
I still haven't. I'm gonna wait until they release the second part. That way, I can just spend 4 hours.
Yeah, no, but you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, no, because I still can't justify paying for a fucking pay-per-view price for things.
Yeah.
I can buy so much other stuff for that money.
This is why we asked people at the hotel to bring us $20 to watch it, and they did. All right, on to my baby face of the week, and in a surprising turn of events, given his track record, it's Seth Rollins this week.
I'd love to hear your rationale behind this.
Yeah, well, it's just because earlier this week he was doing an interview, and he was talking about I think it was ESPN, but he said that he got a list of people that, he could fight at SummerSlam. They wanted to do, that he could do angles with, that he could just, have a story with. And he chose Dominic. So, he said, I didn't even think twice about it. I think it's a sign of good faith that the company, the people in charge, felt like I was capable of giving this guy his first match on a huge platform. And I kind of felt good about that because even though, a lot of the time he's just towing the company line to bend over backwards, he's still willing to, be the person to be there and help put over and give new talents, what they deserve. Because I think that it's kind of what helped him become a bigger name in WWE, and it's kind of what he wants to give back. So the fact that he's someone willing to give back, he's not going to be a complete egomaniacal bastard behind the scenes. It really speaks that his character, he's got good intentions, but he intends to put his foot in his mouth most of the time. He's kind of awkward if you haven't noticed, especially with just his interviews and stuff. It makes me feel a deep hurt inside because I would know that if I was in a similar situation, that's how I would act half the time. And I don't feel good about it, but I sympathize with him on that level.
Yeah.
Also,
he did an interview, and I don't know if this is what you're leading into, but he did an interview where he was like, we definitely do still need to improve. He said, there's always stuff to work on. And gosh, I think it's so hard to pinpoint. Seth Rollins would say, gosh.
Yeah.
I think it's so hard to pinpoint one thing or two things, really. I think things are tough creatively right now in the sense that we don't know where this whole thing is going to fall. We're in the Performance Center. We're doing the best as we can as far as what the aesthetics look like, trying to get a crowd in there to make noise. Things from a viewer's perspectives aren't quite the same. If we could somehow, if we're going under the pretense we don't know when live events are coming back and when a live audience is going to be something the size of a sold-out Boston Garden or whatever, I think making it more fan-friendly, making it more aesthetically pleasing to an audience of a television show might go a long way. So he's not towing it as much.
No, he's coming out a little bit, speaking what I think is closer to how he actually feels. Also, he did say at another time, on his relationship with Moxley, we still talk from time to time. I would love to see what he's doing or how he's doing or whatever. But when his wife got sick, I obviously checked in on him to make sure he was doing okay, and the dogs were good and all that good stuff. John, I heard about Renee. I'm so sorry. How are the dogs?
Tell me about I just think, here's what I think. I think Seth realizing last summer, oh, fuck, I'm the guy, because Roman was out around that time, I believe. He had just started coming back. So it was Seth going, oh, I have to be the locker room leader. I have to be the Undertaker. I have to be the John Cena. I have to be the big guy here. And I don't think that's the guy Seth is. I don't think that's the kind of person he is. So he just naturally gravitated to, what would the company guy do? And so it just led to him kind of going too far in a wrong direction.
Yes, this quote on Reddit sums it up for me. Sometimes I think that Seth is the guy who wants to be cool, but always puts his foot in his mouth.
Yeah, that's him. That's him 110%. It's almost like, I mean, I wouldn't doubt if Seth Rollins had a bunch of fucking anxiety going through his life. And it's him forgetting who he is. I think he forgot who he was. And now that he's actually getting to tell these fun stories and getting to tell this long-term story with the Mysterio family, I think he's starting to feel more comfortable and more Seth. And that makes me happy because at the end of the day, we love to fucking hate him, but God, I love Seth Rollins when he's Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I think that puts it into perspective. Also, I just realized, like, I know he left most recently to be safe, so he would stay away from COVID, you know, as much as possible. But when you think about his career trajectory, Roman is always like, he's there, and he gets pushed to the moon, but then he's not there for some reason, because he's had surgery and injuries over the last few years. Like, there's always big swaths of time where Roman's out.
And honestly, if you look back at some of the biggest names in the business, like Stone Cold and The Rock, there were large swaths of time when they were gone, too. That's what added to their fucking star power, was not getting to see them every week. Which is why I think Roman Reigns may become one of the biggest superstars of all fucking time.
If they let him be Roman Reigns. Seth is forcing himself not to be Seth, which is why we have problems with him. They are forcing Roman to not be Roman half the time, and that's where I have problems.
All right, well, now on to the end discussion of the show, and it's time to make some predictions, ladies and gentlemen, for NXT porn and SummerSlam. And we decided...
I prefer NXT, The Return of Xander Cage.
That's good as well. I just can't wait
Welcome to the McAfee zone.
Hold on a second. Just SummerSlam, like they've got that epic opening package, and then you just hear like boom, and then that's the opening of the fucking takeover.
If no one rides into that arena on a fucking like crotch rocket motorcycle, I'm gonna be so disappointed at the lost opportunity.
Banana hammocks.
Well, to start things off, we'll do Balor and Thatcher. I love Thatcher. Anybody got Thatcher on this one though?
Here's the thing. If we weren't tied, I probably would. But I made a bunch of gambles on SummerSlam. So,
oh God, yeah, I'm seeing it.
A lot of these for me, especially with Takeover, the only reason that I would even break away from any of these predictions is if I wanted to just get a good point in. But like, this feels pretty set in stone to me, except for the multi-matches.
Yeah, and speaking of that, we decided usually we go like whoever's in last place first to pick and then work our way down. Well, we're all tied, so instead we just decided who was the least successful at the last pay-per-view to go first.
I did the worst.
You very much did, which is why we're all tied now. So, Breezango versus Legado del Fantasma versus Oni and Birch. Which one did you get? See, I don't have to explain myself because I was the last one to pick. I'm just like, pick. I took the scrap.
Yeah, no, I got Oni Birch. I think because they have the scariest faces.
Fuck, that's the most Blake Tanner explanation I've ever heard.
They look scary.
I have Legado. Is Legado del Fantasma or Legado de Fantasma?
It's Legado del Fantasma, and they were my first pick as well. So thank you for stealing that from me.
Oh, dude, because that faction needs to be just dripping in gold. Because like Phantasma's there, looking just sexy style, and then the two guys that make that up are both people that showed promise and were like kind of pushed by WWE in the beginning, but lost their way, and like now that they're with Phantasma, like it's like, oh, that's right, they did have talent. So
yeah,
I feel like this is their chance to like solidify.
I love the segment where they attacked Breezango by jumping out of a car and it makes sense, but in the same parking lot, I'm pretty sure the same parking lot that Jeff Hardy got ran over in. Or no, that Sheamus got ran over in.
I every time that happens, I just imagine Joe, get better security.
And then I have Breezango, which honestly, if the tag team champions were anybody else, I'd say I hate having Breezango, but I kind of don't, because they had a very long, good feud with Imperium, and I wouldn't mind a feel-good moment of Breezango getting the titles from Imperium and then dropping them to Legado later. So that way you keep a babyface heel dynamic throughout the whole thing.
I have the weakest pick because there's no way they're going to do heel, but like I'm just like, something needs to happen. Make a triple threat somewhere.
The only match on this card that might have been spoiled by their Instagram page, Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross, I'm shocked we all went with Lee, because, like, that was my I'm taking a gamble here pick.
Oh, really? I didn't see this social media post, so I just picked Lee, but I'm not changing it. I'm in for the long haul.
Oh, yeah, no, he literally just beat the longest reigning NXT champion. Also, Survivor Series is up next, and if you think for a second that they don't smell like the money of Keith Lee being in that championship triple threat match, then you're crazy.
I don't know, because I think Cross would work well too.
Nobody knows who the fuck Cross is.
He's a big boy. That's all you need to know. Big boy.
No, he'll be a big boy on the Survivor Series team, and that's where he'll get himself over.
Okay. Fuck. I'm gonna save it for the end. So Io versus Kai.
I will die. Yeah, I continue to die on the Joshi Hill. So whatever.
I tend to find myself on the Joshi Hill as well half the time. So I just want to get a win. Although Dylan's about to die hard on that hill come when we get to SummerSlam.
That's a different hill.
That is a more important hill to you.
It is. Dead bodies are on that hill.
I would not mind seeing Dakota Kai with the title, and someone described her and Raquel as basically like the modern women's division version of Diesel and Shawn Michaels. And I'd love for a title run and maybe revive her feud with fucking
Tegan.
Yeah, with her. And so I was like, that'd be good, but also, it's fucking Io, man. Like, you just can't not. And then the ladder match, which, of course, Blake, would you like to start with your...
The Wednesday night, baby! If they want to give some shine to that bad boy, take it away from whatever they fucking call it when a title isn't being held by someone. Vacant. That's the word that I couldn't remember. But yeah, Gargano. Fuck it. Just fuck it.
Yeah.
Cameron Grimes. Grimes time, baby.
I love him so much. I really do.
Listen, I've always loved Trevor Lee as like, just off of the previews he would always have with like PWG, and like I saw a few of his things, and then Impact. Like he's always been a great heel, just a great like. But with this, somehow he's put it into a new level of like backwoods like 80s. You said it better. He's like a bad 80s promo, but done right.
Yeah.
And it's. I know they won't put it on him, but like I just want it.
Yeah.
That's.
Well, for me, like, I did think this was going to be a new time to crown someone new, send someone to the upper echelon. But for me, as much as I want it to be Grimes, I think it's Priest. I think it's old bow and arrow boys time.
Oh no,
like,
he's definitely my most likely. I looked and I was like, they'll probably give it to Damian Priest, but Cameron Grimes.
Yeah, I like because
there's a reason I don't win anymore.
Because I love Bronson, but I don't think it's Bronson's time yet. Priest had a big kind of welcome mat rolled out for him, and then didn't do that much. So I'm like, okay, were gonna wait.
He had that good feud with Balor.
Oh yeah, that's right.
In this case, like I couldn't not bet on myself, so I had to go with Johnny.
All right, well, now on to SummerSlam, ladies and gentlemen.
It's the greatest party of the summer.
I'll be honest, this first match may be a match that I think is going to give both of these combatants the look that they've always needed, and it's Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville in a hair versus hair match.
Oh boy.
We all have Rose, and yes, I love the way both, like, fucking DeVille's gonna come out of this with some fucking vicious, straight edge society energy that I'm going to die for, and then Mandy Rose comes out of it as God's greatest soccer mom and gives her I told y'all from the beginning that she was gonna get a fucking Daisy Duke Southern Girl Next Door look out of this Otis storyline, and they're finally doing it, and it makes me so
Her
happy.
gear is so generic now, though.
Oh, is it? No, man, give her like some Daisy Dukes and like just like a torn up white shirt. Like, just go all in on it. Make Otis influence her.
Give it.
Otis hasn't even been on television.
Oh, Otis still has the Money in the Bank briefcase, right?
Well, speaking of that, hold on. I do love. Usually, we'll put like title match, and underneath it, is there a cash in? We've not bothered with that for months. We're like, that's not gonna fucking happen. But
if it does, I don't even want to be a part of it.
Yeah, but Braun Strowman versus Bray Wyatt in what is increasingly becoming my least favorite storyline in WWE.
Yeah,
listen,
I want this to be over.
I do too. I just need the Fiend to win, and then we have more Fiend storylines, and it's great.
I honestly kind of don't mind this being a double turn, because, like, no one hates the Fiend. Everyone likes him. He's like fucking Kane in the later parts. It's just like, it's fucking Kane. Fuck yeah. That's who the Fiend is. Meanwhile, Braun Strowman is doing his worst Universal Pictures villain or monster impression, and it's the worst thing. And so easily, it's already happening that you're flipping them. And so just finalize it here. Have Alexa come out, join the Fiend, and become like a new fun associate in the Firefly Funhouse, and it's perfect. I'd love it as long as I can't stand what Braun's doing right now.
Oh, but you did just give me the greatest like visual of that Firefly Funhouse episode where Lexi B comes out.
Oh, no. She'd be like Postman Lex.
Yeah,
She's
Postman Lex.
like in like cute pigtails in a postman's outfit. And no more fucking, I came out of the swamp and now I'm a changed monster spooky boy. That's who I am, Spooky Boy Braun now.
Growl.
Everyone I do like that they're finally like acknowledging the whole, if you come into contact with the Fiend, you're gonna get changed. I'm happy that they're finally just openly saying like, I fought the Fiend and now I'm a big scary monster. Doopa doopa doopa.
Also, Funhouse Bray was doing an interview earlier this week, and they asked him, I can't remember the question exactly, but do you give any advice to Seth on his SummerSlam match? Said Dominic. Bleh. But
Prince Mysterio, he's going to come out in new gear. We didn't talk about that.
Oh, yeah. But Bray said, don't die.
I love Funhouse Bray doing like sit-down interviews. It's my favorite thing. All right, on to our next match of two. And Blake, you're the only person, or no, it's Dylan. Dylan's the only person who died on this hill. Bailey versus...
Listen.
He's trying.
I'm playing this 50-50. I couldn't figure out which one it was, so I just went all in on it.
Yeah, because...
Worst case scenario, I'm really sad. In which case, I would have been sad anyway. One, because I betrayed my favorite women's wrestler, and two, because she didn't win. But this way, I'll give up her not winning both for her to win one. That's fine.
All right, well, it's Bailey versus Asuka, and you know what? Fuck it, we'll lump it in. Sasha Banks versus Asuka.
The answer is Asuka, and also Asuka.
Asuka. All right, I think
Well, my argument for mine, because I have Bailey retaining and Sasha beating, and Asuka beating Sasha. Asuka's on Raw. Sasha's on SmackDown. So for me, it's the easiest route. Because I think the way I would do it, Bailey's first, and Bailey barely gets out of it victorious, but she's beat to shit. And I think I've talked about it on the show. Barely comes out of it victorious, but can't come out for Sasha's match. Then Sasha loses the title, and that's what leads to the breakup, is the fact that you weren't there for my match. I came out for your match and helped you, but you weren't there for me. And Bailey can be like, I had a broken arm. Fuck you.
Mine is this. I actually have Sasha Banks winning and Bailey losing, because I don't think they care as much about what brand anyone's on anymore. But I also just... And it's not logical, but Sasha Banks has never defended her title successfully that I can remember. I think that someone even posted that, yeah, she hasn't done it once. So I would like to see that. And also it flips the script. So after that's over, you would have Sasha as the lone champion of the duo, of the main championships, and Bailey without a championship.
I'm actually trying to see.
And then I bet that one of you was going to be right, but at the same time liked Asuka too much to bet against her in either case.
I'm trying to see. Okay,
no, there's no way she beats both of them.
You might win.
You're probably right, but like... Scottye made a really good argument too, and I'm just like, it's just...
See, I was sitting here going like, well, maybe Bailey's about to break a record, because it's such a long title reign that's why I'm saying like leave it on her, because Sasha, it's like, yeah, she barely had it, it's whatever. So I was like, maybe Bailey's about to break a record. No, Bailey broke a record like half a fucking year ago.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You know the previous record holder was Bailey. Like, oh wait, I'm sorry, it was Charlotte. Charlotte held it 7 days more than Bailey.
Name the 5 greatest SmackDown Women champions of the world: Bailey, 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 and Bailey.
All Bailey, all the time.
All right, Dominic versus Seth Rollins, Junior Mysterio.
Fucking
Prince Mysterio.
Simba is coming back to the Pride Lands to avenge his daddy.
My preferred comparison is Thor, because it's like Rey is now Odin with the one eye patch, and now you have Thor coming to avenge his daddy. And Seth's Loki or some shit. I don't fucking know. Anyways, yeah, it's one of those things that I'm like, it's his first match. He shouldn't win. But also, it's his first match, and you need a feel-good moment for SummerSlam. So, like, Ray will come out probably, take out Buddy, and that allows him to set up for the 619, hit it, and then hit whatever he wants to hit after that.
If there is anyone that I would be willing to suspend my rule that like first timers probably shouldn't get the immediate win, it is the son of Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
And so, but I think, I mean, we all have Dominic, so, but I think
that's because the two of you did it, and like I said, I gambled on the next two.
Yeah. Well, the next match should be Apollo Crews versus Bobby Lashley, but it's not, and I don't understand. It is Apollo Crews versus MVP for the United States title, fucking, because this is just never going to die.
Yeah, it's just Crews. Let's just keep going.
Cruise it.
Let's just keep going.
We're gonna cruise on past.
The only thing I would say is if like Cedric came out and turned, like that might be your only saving grace for MVP, but I'm gonna take Crews too. Up next, Street Profits versus the Poison Gang.
So technically, hear me out. The reason I say this is technically they already got their comeuppance against Los Ingobernables de WWE on Monday, when they it came out and they and just beat the living shit out of Garza, like even pinned Garza, got the win, like got over on Andrade. like, whatever. So they already got their thing back. They stood tall on Raw, which means obviously they're going to lose.
That is a very, like, tried and true prediction method for WWE.
Yeah.
The SmackDown tag titles aren't here. This is the only thing I have to go off of.
Yeah.
It's because like that's not there. There's no Intercontinental. Nobody else really had a like we're standing tall moment. I'm just like me. It's you. It's got to be you. Plus, Andrade and Garza need something to do at this point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Dylan has Garza and Andrade. Scotty and I have the Profits.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna bet against Street Profits. Now, what I hope is the main event: Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton, and this is where my fantasy booking comes in. So I'm just gonna let you two play in the space until I come in.
Oh, good. Then I can leave. It is almost midnight where I am. I'm not staying up until whatever o'clock so you can verbally masturbate.
No, it's not. It's not a 15-minute. It's a very short one. So
okay, cool.
Okay.
So how many months has Randy been punting people in the head?
Yeah, since WrestleMania.
So 4 months?
Yeah.
4 months? Cool. So his comeuppance has to come eventually.
Yeah.
And Drew McIntyre is like the new face of WWE. So to have him just get punked out by Randy Orton
Okay.
right before Survivor Series does nothing for anyone. I'm looking ahead to the next pay-per-view for the triple threat match that you just told me that Keith Lee and Drew McIntyre sparred. So you're telling me that they're not going to lock up at Survivor Series in that triple threat match?
My only but for that is...
It's Randy Orton?
Yes.
Because, like, I will wholeheartedly agree with you. I said I was gambling.
Because it's Randy Orton. God, he's the person that punks everyone out, and I hate it, but...
Well, not only that, McIntyre is one of their best baby faces. Randy is their best heel right now. There's not a better heel on this roster than Randy Orton. And there's also not a more intriguing storyline than the storyline of Retribution. I say during this match, Retribution interferes, fucks up Drew McIntyre, Randy pins him, gets his hand raised in the air or whatever, and then there's just like a stare down with Retribution. So there's a little seed planted. Cut to, Dylan, you're wrong. Next pay-per-view is not fucking Survivor Series. The next pay-per-view's a week from now.
What?
Yes.
What?
Do you not know that? Payback is in a week. Payback is literally next weekend.
What? We're gonna have to do this again fucking next episode?
We've got to do predictions for Payback and then All Out. It's like...
Fuck, I gotta change like 3 predictions after this is done.
But
then it's totally Randy. No, I'm changing this shit right now. No, fuck this.
So, what I want is the rematch at Payback. Randy versus McIntyre. The fucking Retribution interfere again. And McIntyre at this point's prepared, beats the shit out of all of them, turns around to an RKO, gets pinned, doesn't get punted because we got to keep him around for matches. And so Randy's celebrating in the ring, and now Retribution gets in the ring. One man stands behind him, unmasks. It's Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa versus Randy Orton, Hell in a Cell. Book it. That's what I want. It's not going to happen. But I'm speaking it into the universe.
Fuck. You know what? If Payback is in a week, Dylan, you might be right on the Oscar Hill.
Yeah.
Fuck. That is a definite... That is on the table now, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, because... Well, yeah, whatever. But also Sasha and Bayley are going to be defending their tag titles. That's the only thing announced for this
exactly.
point.
So one or both of them lose their title, and then they implode in the tag titles, and then they fight for one. I know they're going to fight for one of the women's titles. I can't I can't accurately tell which one. So I just bet on Asuka and made peace with going 50-50 instead of potentially like 0.
That's true, because like at this point, one of us, like, you're gonna get a 50-50, and either Scottye or I are just gonna be totally wrong.
Yeah. Hold on, let me see what's booked for Payback right now. Yeah, the only one is Sasha and Bailey versus TBD for the fucking tag titles.
I hope it's Riot Squad.
Yeah, that's might be what happened. But yeah, what I want, that's why I focused on SmackDown, because the whole big deal is they were able to get the Raw title because they had the tag titles that allowed them to go to Raw. They lose them next week, which means they're now stuck in SmackDown purgatory, which is why I kept it on Bailey. It also makes a bigger moment because Sasha's ending like a damn near year-long reign in a Hell in a Cell match. I'm excited for Hell in a Cell if what I've said is going to happen. But until then, what have you boys learned this week?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that. I learned that.
Fuck.
I learned that Tommaso Ciampa's the leader of Retribution, baby. Let's go.
I honestly believe that the worst possible booking for it is that it's Mustafa, Cedric, Ricochet, and one other person.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Anytime I hear Cedric's name, all I can think is when Big E was talking about starting his own heel stable. He was like, I'm going to get a heel stable with Cedric. I'm going to get Cedric and Bobby Lashley and all of them.
God, I learned, why the fuck are you gonna book a pay-per-view a week after SummerSlam? Like, what?
A literal, god damn it.
Yeah, they got a week to build this. I like somebody online was like, hey, maybe it's just like a network special. And someone said, no, it's a pay-per-view. That's what they've blatantly said, is it's a pay-per-view.
Okay, so that's where the SmackDown tag titles, the Intercontinental.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. I don't. Yeah, so there's going to be 3 title matches.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 if they feel like using the fucking Cruiserweight title.
Well, where can people find y'all on the internet?
You can find me at Blake A. Tanner on the Twitter. You can find me at the Darkroom Video on YouTube, and here on the BS Network doing all of our great podcasts, like A Load of BS. The other ones that I do, because now my mind is just totally shot.
The concept of having to predict another pay-per-view in approximately a week has broken you.
I'm fucking... Why?
There's always JWF Ignition, ladies and gentlemen. The pro wrestling show without pro wrestling. Yeah, if you want wrestling, but you want to get it on your commute or get it on the not the runway. What's that thing called? What you run on at the gym? Treadmill.
The treadmill?
Whatever. You can get JWF Ignition, and you can find me on Twitter at Scottye Moore, SCOTTYEMO. You can buy all of my books, mainly BS versus the Gods, on Amazon, and you can find all the other programs, including the brand new show Sammy Magic, at aloadofpurebs.com.
Special thanks to Mega Ran for our theme song, Fighters. Mega Ran will never book a pay-per-view a week after his last pay-per-view, so give him the love.
It has broken you. You are a broken man.
It's so stupid. I know they've got other matches they can do now, but what fuck, man?
And as always, you can find us at aloadofpurebs.com. Step up to the merch table at merch.aloadofpurebs.com. Find us on Facebook, donate to the Patreon, subscribe on YouTube, and remember to follow us on Twitter at Fight Boy Show Kylie Ray, because when you're a fight boy for life.